Have you ever noticed something a little unsettling? Most people grow up believing that sleep is the ultimate reset button. Lie down, close your eyes, drift away, and the body simply repairs itself. But if sleep alone were truly enough, why do so many adults over 60 still wake up feeling tired, mentally foggy, with eyes that feel dry, irritated, or strangely strained? That isn't always rest. Sometimes, it's just unconsciousness. Tonight, I want to speak with you gently, not like a medical lecture, but like a quiet conversation with someone who understands what this stage of life can feel like. Because many people experience this same frustration. You finally get a few hours of sleep, yet your thoughts still feel slow. Your focus still feels dull. And your eyes don't feel refreshed the way they once did. And it can be confusing. After all, sleep is supposed to heal. But here's the softer truth many people never hear. After 60, sleep alone doesn't always guarantee deep recovery. Not because your body has failed you, but because your brain and your eyes are working under very different conditions than they did years ago. During the night, your brain is meant to perform delicate repair work. Clearing metabolic waste, stabilizing nerve activity, restoring balance. Your eyes, especially the retina, rely on this same recovery window to reduce stress and restore comfort. Yet with age, some of these natural repair systems simply slow down. The circulation feeding sensitive nerve tissues becomes less efficient. Cellular recovery takes longer. Inflammatory stress becomes easier to trigger. Nothing dramatic. Nothing sudden. Just subtle shifts that gradually change how rested sleep actually feels. Which is why many people sleep, but don't feel fully restored. And understanding this difference is the first step toward improving it. What makes this experience so frustrating is that the real cause often stays hidden. It isn't always insomnia. It isn't simply getting older. More often, it's something quieter. Low-grade inflammation, subtle cellular stress, and oxidative strain gently interfering with the body's ability to restore itself during sleep. Not dramatic. Not alarming. Just slow, silent processes that gradually steal the depth of your recovery. Your brain tries to reset. Your eyes try to repair. But these background stressors make that nightly restoration less efficient. And over time, sleep may feel lighter, less refreshing, less complete. But here's the reassuring part. You are not helpless in this process. The body still remembers how to restore balance. It sometimes just needs the right support. There are simple, natural, time-tested ways to calm the nervous system, relax circulation, and gently encourage deeper overnight recovery. Not extreme interventions. Not complicated routines. Just small nightly choices that work with your biology, not against it. And that is exactly what this video explores. Because sometimes the most powerful support is already sitting quietly in your kitchen. Warm, familiar, and easy to integrate into daily life. If this is your first time here, I warmly invite you to subscribe to Vital Health. Here, we don't chase trends or dramatic claims. We focus on steady, practical strategies that support clarity, comfort, and long-term well-being. These aren't simply warm drinks. They are gentle rituals of restoration, helping relax the mind, support circulation, and prepare both the brain and the eyes for more meaningful rest. And once you understand what they're truly doing inside the body, you may never look at your nightly cup the same way again. Let's begin with something warm, familiar, and deeply soothing. Golden milk. There is something quietly comforting about this gentle drink. Not just because of its color, but because of how it feels, like a soft signal to the body that the day is ending. A moment that says, you can relax now. For centuries, this simple blend of turmeric, milk, and mild spices Has been used in traditional wellness practices. But what makes it especially interesting after 60 isn't only tradition. It's how its components interact with the brain and the eyes. At the heart of golden milk is turmeric. And within turmeric is a natural compound called curcumin. Curcumin has drawn attention in modern research for its role in supporting the body's response to inflammation and oxidative stress. Two processes that tend to increase gradually with age. Both the brain and the retina are highly sensitive tissues. They rely on calm cellular environments to perform their nightly repair work. When inflammatory stress is elevated, recovery may simply become less efficient. Curcumin appears to help support balance in this system. Not as a dramatic fix, but as gentle, long-term support. Some studies have observed improvements in areas such as memory, attention, and markers of neural health when curcumin is consumed consistently. Similarly, researchers exploring eye health have examined how curcumin interacts with retinal stress and oxidative strain. Again, nothing magical. Just steady biological support. And then there is the milk itself. Whether dairy or plant-based, warm milk contains compounds like tryptophan, which the body uses in the natural production of melatonin and serotonin. These are not only associated with sleep, but also with relaxation, mood stability, and nervous system calm. Which is why warm milk often feels inherently soothing in the evening. And there is one small yet surprisingly important detail. Black pepper. A tiny pinch. Black pepper contains piperine, a compound known to significantly enhance curcumin absorption. Without it, much of the curcumin may simply pass through the system. With it, the body can make far better use of turmeric's active elements. Simple, but meaningful. So here is a gentle nightly ritual you can try. Warm a cup of milk. Add about half a teaspoon of turmeric. Include a small pinch of black pepper. If you enjoy a richer flavor, you may add cinnamon or ginger. Sip it slowly, ideally about an hour before bed. Not rushed. Not distracted. Just a calm transition into rest. Because sometimes the greatest benefit isn't only the ingredients, but the message you send to your nervous system. The day is done. It's safe to unwind. And in that relaxed state, both the brain and the eyes may perform their quiet restoration more effectively. Now imagine if your next evening drink didn't stimulate, didn't energize, but simply whispered calm into the nervous system. Chamomile tea is often described that way. Not loud. Not intense. Just gentle. A soft invitation for the mind and body to slow down. Many people think of chamomile as merely a sleep drink. But its role can be far more interesting. Especially for adults navigating the natural changes that come with age. Within chamomile is a natural compound called apigenin. Apigenin interacts with receptors in the brain associated with relaxation, helping ease the mental tension that can make sleep feel light or fragmented. Rather than forcing sedation, it gently encourages a state of calm readiness for rest. Which is why chamomile often feels soothing, even before sleep begins. Some studies examining chamomile consumption have observed improvements in sleep quality, particularly in reducing restlessness and nighttime awakenings. But its effects may extend beyond sleep alone. Apigenin is also studied for its antioxidant and neurosupportive properties, helping the body manage oxidative stress, a process closely linked to both cognitive fatigue and visual strain. And this is where the brain-eye connection becomes important. Your retina and optic nerve are not isolated structures. They are delicate extensions of your nervous system. When the nervous system is tense, overstimulated, or inflamed, visual comfort can be affected. Focus may feel harder. Eye fatigue may feel stronger. Nighttime vision may feel less comfortable. Chamomile's calming influence supports a different internal environment. A quieter system. A more relaxed state. Which may indirectly support visual processing and comfort. Chamomile is also known for its mild muscle relaxing properties. This can be particularly helpful in the evening, when tiny muscles involved in eye movement and focus benefit from reduced tension. Again, nothing dramatic. Just gentle physiological support. So how can you use it as part of your nightly rhythm? Quite simply. Steep 1 tea bag or about 1 teaspoon of dried chamomile flowers in hot water. Cover the cup and allow it to infuse for around 5 to 7 minutes. Sip it slowly, ideally 30 to 60 minutes before bedtime. Warm. Unhurried. If you prefer a touch of sweetness, a small amount of honey may be added when appropriate. But even plain, chamomile carries its own quiet comfort. Because sometimes, better sleep and clearer mornings begin not with strong interventions, but with soft signals of safety and relaxation. A gentle whisper to the nervous system. The day is complete. It's time to unwind. Now let's turn to a drink that often surprises people. Fennel tea. At first glance, it feels delicate, lightly sweet, softly aromatic. Easy. Gentle. Unassuming. Yet fennel has long held a respected place in traditional wellness practices. Not only for digestion, but for broader systemic comfort. Fennel seeds contain naturally occurring plant compounds, including anethole, which has been studied for its soothing and antioxidant properties. These compounds are known to interact with the body in calming ways, particularly supporting relaxation of smooth muscles and helping the body manage inflammatory stress. Why does this matter after 60? Because many of the subtle discomforts associated with aging, mental fatigue, visual strain, general tension, are often connected to circulation, cellular stress, and nervous system balance. The brain and the eyes are highly metabolically active tissues. They are especially sensitive to oxidative strain and shifts in blood flow efficiency. Fennel's antioxidant profile, including flavonoids and vitamin C, has drawn research interest for how it may help the body regulate these processes. Not as a cure, but as gentle nutritional support. Some experimental studies have explored how fennel-derived compounds interact with neurotransmitter activity and cellular stress pathways in neural tissues. This is particularly interesting because your visual system is deeply linked to your nervous system. Clearer signaling, better balance, reduced tension. All of these contribute to how comfortable and sharp vision feels. Fennel is also widely known for its calming effect on digestion. And this connection is more important than it appears. An unsettled digestive system can quietly disturb sleep quality, trigger subtle stress responses, and indirectly affect nighttime recovery. When digestion feels lighter and calmer, the body often transitions into rest more easily, which benefits the brain and the eyes. Many people also describe fennel tea as gently relaxing to the body overall. Less internal tension, a smoother sense of ease. And sometimes, these small shifts make a noticeable difference in how mornings feel. Not dramatic, just steadier. So how can you include fennel tea in your evening routine? Simple and calming. Lightly crush about 1 teaspoon of fennel seeds. Steep them in hot water. Cover the cup and allow it to infuse for around 7 to 10 minutes. Sip slowly, preferably in the later part of the evening. No sugar needed, fennel carries a naturally mild sweetness. Let it become part of your nightly wind down. Not only for digestion, but as a gentle signal of relaxation for the entire system. Because sometimes, clearer thinking and more comfortable vision begin with supporting the body in small, consistent ways. Quietly. Naturally. Night after night. Now let's return to a familiar golden ingredient. But this time, in a slightly richer, more supportive form. The turmeric latte. While golden milk is gentle and soothing, a properly prepared turmeric latte is designed for deeper absorption and sustained support. Because turmeric's most studied compound, curcumin, works best when paired with the right companions. On its own, curcumin is naturally difficult for the body to absorb. But when combined with a tiny amount of black pepper, specifically its active compound piperine, its bioavailability increases dramatically. This pairing has been widely recognized in nutritional science as one of the most effective ways to help the body utilize curcumin. Once absorbed, curcumin has been studied for its role in supporting the body's response to inflammation, oxidative stress, and cellular energy balance, processes that become increasingly important with age. Both the brain and the retina are highly sensitive tissues. They rely on efficient circulation, stable cellular environments, and balanced stress responses. Curcumin's interaction with these systems has made it a focus of growing research interest. Not as a quick fix, but as steady biological support. And then there is another subtle yet meaningful component: warmth and fat. When turmeric is consumed with a small amount of healthy fat, such as coconut oil or ghee, it further supports absorption, while also promoting a feeling of satiety and relaxation. Warm, nourishing drinks naturally encourage activation of the parasympathetic nervous system, the body's rest and restore mode, which is exactly the state we want before sleep. Because deep restoration happens most efficiently when the nervous system feels calm and safe. So here is a simple evening preparation. Warm 1 cup of milk, dairy or plant-based. Add about half a teaspoon of turmeric. Include a small pinch of black pepper. Optionally, stir in a small amount of healthy fat. Heat gently. Avoid boiling. Sip slowly, ideally about an hour before bedtime. Not rushed. Not distracted. Just a warm transition into rest. A quiet ritual that supports the body's natural recovery systems through the night. Now that you've explored these calming drinks, the real transformation lies in something beautifully simple. Consistency. Not dramatic changes. Not complicated routines. Just one gentle nightly rhythm. Rather than trying everything at once, allow these drinks to become flexible companions in your week. Each evening, take a moment, about 45 to 60 minutes before sleep. A quiet pause. A warm cup. A slower pace. And then choose based on how your body feels. If the mind feels busy or restless, chamomile tea offers gentle calm. If the body feels tense, or your eyes feel strained after a long day, a turmeric latte may provide deeper systemic support. If digestion feels heavy, or mental clarity feels slightly dulled, fennel tea can feel surprisingly refreshing and balancing. And on evenings when you simply want warmth, comfort, and nourishment, golden milk remains a beautifully soothing choice. No pressure. No rigid rules. Just quiet awareness. Because your body constantly communicates its needs. Sleep quality. Visual comfort. Mental clarity. These often respond not to intensity, but to steady, repeated care. Night after night. Even a single week of mindful consistency can begin to shift how mornings feel. A little clearer. A little lighter. And over time, these small moments become more than beverages. They become signals of restoration. A nightly message to the brain and body. Slow down. Recover. Repair. 1 cup. 1 calm habit. There's something important I'd like to leave you with. If you've stayed until this moment, it quietly says something about you. You're not searching for quick fixes. You're not chasing dramatic promises. You're here because a part of you still trusts in your body's ability to recover, adapt, and restore. And that belief is deeply meaningful. Because healing, real, lasting healing, often doesn't arrive through sudden change. More often, it begins softly. With small choices. Gentle rhythms. Quiet consistency. Sometimes it begins with a warm cup in the evening. Something simple. Something calming. Something repeated night after night. So subtle, you barely notice it working. Until one morning you wake up and feel a difference. A clearer mind. More comfortable eyes. A steadier sense of energy. Not a miracle. Just gradual restoration. If you're wondering how to begin, here is a gentle weekly rhythm you may find helpful. On Monday and Thursday. Chamomile tea, for evenings when the mind needs quiet. On Tuesday and Saturday. A turmeric latte, offering deeper nutritional support. On Wednesday and Sunday. Golden milk, soothing, warming, restorative. And on Friday. Fennel tea, light, balancing, calming. This is not a strict schedule. It's simply a guide. A flexible structure you can adapt. Based on what your body feels it needs. Because the real transformation does not come from perfection. It comes from showing up for yourself. 1 cup. 1 evening. 1 small act of care at a time. And even when those efforts feel invisible, they are never insignificant. Every gentle choice toward rest, clarity, and comfort is a quiet investment in your well-being. So tonight, as the day softens and the world grows still, let this thought stay with you. You are not too old to support your mind. You are not too late to care for your vision. And you are certainly not alone in this journey. Thank you for spending this time here. If this video brought you value, you're warmly invited to like, share, or leave a comment below. I'd truly love to know. Which evening drink will you begin with? And if you haven't already, subscribe to Vital Health, so we can continue exploring calm, practical ways to support long-term health together. Rest gently tonight. Your body is still listening.